1712, the British ironmonger Thomas Newcomen invented the first widely used steam engine, paving the way for industrial revolution and industrial scale use of coal. But it took some 50 years for the process to become widely used in production. Not then until 1896, when Swedish chemist Svante Arrhenius concluded that the industrial age use of coal would enhance the natural greenhouse effect, but of course no one had much to actually listen to.
Causes of climate change. The causes of climate change can be divided into two categories, human and natural causes. It is now a global concern that the climate changes occurring today have been sped up because of human activities. The Earth's climate is influenced and changed through natural causes like volcanic eruptions, ocean currents, the Earth's orbital changes and solar variations. There are also some which are man-made causes, such as 65% from the use of fuel to generate energy, 21% from transport and 4% from industrial processes. Climate change can be caused by human activities such as burning of fossil fuels. In addition to other environmental impacts, these can change the land surface and emit various substances to the atmosphere. These in turn can influence both the amount of incoming energy and the amount of outgoing energy and can have both warming and cooling effects on the climate.
Low emissions transport has risen in past years with innovations such as electric cars, hybrid transport and low emissions long distance transport such as the Eurotunnel, making reliable, environmentally friendly transport for anyone. The recent VW scandal with cheating emissions tests show how large companies only care about profit and reputation and are prioritised over long-term safeguarding and health of the global population.
Our climate is changing both naturally and due to human exploitation. There is already evidence that animals are being affected by climate change and global warming in both distribution and behaviour. Some of the many animals in danger of extinction due to climate change include polar bears. Polar bears are unable to hunt due to melting ice due to climate change. Sea turtles. Sea levels are rising, leading to eroding nesting beaches. Penguins. Penguins are massively in danger as melting sea ice is occurring. If climate change does not change drastically within the next decade through human interaction, many animals will face extinction in the near future.
How amazing is our planet? More than 2/3 of the world is covered in ocean, but only 3% is fresh water. Believe it or not, the real world is far more amazing than fiction. The world is 12,742 kilometres in diameter around the equator, but actually a little less from North Pole to South Pole. The centrifugal force created by the world spinning made the centre bulge a little bit. Did you know, according to Science Daily, there are 7,770,000 species of animal in the world and still counting because 50 new ones are being created each day. The centre of our Earth measures 6,000 degrees centigrade and there are 540 volcanoes. The highest mountain in the world is 8.71 kilometres above sea level and deepest part of the ocean is Mariana Trench, which is 11 kilometres. The world is moving through space at 66,700 miles per hour and there are now 7.3 billion people in this world.
Renewable energy is generally defined as energy that comes from resources which are naturally replenished on a human timescale, such as sunlight, wind, rain, tides, waves, and geothermal heat. Natural resources are materials or substances such as minerals, forests, water, and fertile land that occur in nature and can be used for economic gain. An example of a natural resources are oceans, water, puddles. All areas of water are natural resources. The most direct connection to you is drinking water.
Many organisations are trying to help climate change through the use of many different actions around the world. One organisation that goes by the name of 350.org. This group was founded with the sole purpose of uniting climate activists with a strategy of bottom-up organising around the world. Another organisation called Sierra Club, which was founded in 1892. For years, the group promoted the appreciation and stewardship of the outdoors. These are just a couple of the many organisations working to help climate change throughout the globe and working to make the world a better place.
The amount of CO2 has a dramatic increase over the years. It has been increasing with very little decline. The average global increase of the temperature fluctuates each year. However, over a large time scale, it gradually increases. Statistics show there is a correlation between the amount of CO2 levels in the atmosphere and the average global temperature, which together are increasing and causing global warming. The amount of land ice on the planet is dramatically increasing at an average rate of 134 billion metric tons of ice being lost per year. Global warming causes the land ice to melt and therefore raises sea levels. The current rate of change of sea level is increasing by 3.24 millimetres per year.
Environmental footprint is basically a measure of human demand on the Earth's ecosystems, the amount of natural capital used each year. The footprint of a region can be contrasted with the natural resources it generates.
Decreasing summer sea ice. Recent data supports the view held by many polar scientists that there will be almost no summer sea ice cover left in the Arctic in the next few decades. Impacts of an ice-free Arctic. An open, ice-free Arctic Ocean will attract more shipping and commercial exploitation and result in more pollution. The Arctic holds the world's largest remaining untapped gas reserves and some of its largest undeveloped oil reserves. Sea level rise. Parts of the West Antarctic Peninsula are among the fastest warming places on Earth. Although the Antarctic ice sheets are unlikely to melt entirely, even small-scale melting is likely to have a significant effect on global sea level rise.
International agreement is a regulation of concerns that are recognised by international organisations. All international concerns are governed by the law of treaties. So far, many countries have shied away from helping the issues recognised by international organisations. Large issues such as climate change have caused more amounts of countries to become a part of international agreement and resolve massive concerns wrong with our globe. This is because, without their help, life on Earth will rapidly be extinct. China recently announced their target to improve greenhouse gas emissions by 2015. They also aim to reduce carbon intensity by 40 to 45% from 2020 to 2025.
What is climate change?
Climate change is the average global temperature increasing. Increased greenhouse gas emissions in the atmosphere are trapping heat in the Earth's atmosphere. This would impact on global weather systems, causing everything from unexpected rainfall to extreme heat waves. The Earth has gone through periods of warming and cooling, and it has been associated with climate change. Scientists are mainly concerned about the speed at which climate change is happening, as the temperature is increasing faster than it has in previous years. In the last century, average global temperatures increased by about 1 degree Celsius. If we carry on producing greenhouse gases at the same rate, the temperature could rise by a further 4 degrees by the end of the century. This could be devastating for our planet and ecosystems, but we can cut the impact through climate action.
Climate change affects everyone and everything, but the effects are most felt by the poorest and most marginalised countries. Countries that live in regions that are open to changes in the climate, whose livelihoods that are more dependent on natural resources are more likely to feel the effects of climate. In places like rainforests, they suffer from the change in climate. Extreme weather and events like rainfall and heat waves are more likely to occur, making it harder for the animals and even humans to live or survive in.
The main cause of climate change is the way in which we live. If we can find ways to change this, then we can help to fight against climate change. Some of the ways we can improve it are to cut down on our CO2 emissions that we give out from cars and houses, etc. We can also change the way our foods are being produced and by using less fossil fuels to power our houses. This will reduce harmful chemicals and substances that we give off from our houses in everyday lives.
Dear future generations, I think I speak for the rest of us when I say, sorry. Sorry we left you with our mess of a planet. Sorry that we were too caught up in our own doings to do something. Sorry we listened to people who made excuses to do nothing. I hope you forgive us. We just didn't realize how special the earth was. Like a marriage gone wrong. We didn't know what we had until it was gone. For example, I'm guessing you probably know it as the Amazon desert, right? Well, believe it or not, it was once called the Amazon rainforest, and there were billions of trees there, all of them gorgeous, and... Oh, you don't know much about trees, do you? Well, let me tell you, trees are amazing. I mean, we literally breathe the air they are creating. They clean up our pollution, our carbon. They store and purify water, give us medicine that cures our diseases, food that feeds us, which is why I'm so sorry to tell you that we burn them down. Cut them down with brutal machines, horrific, at a rate of 40 football fields every minute. That's 50% of all the trees in the world gone in the last 100 years. Why? For this. And that wouldn't make me so sad if it weren't so many pictures of leaves on it. You know, when I was a child, I read how the Native Americans had such consideration for the planet that they felt responsible for how they left the land for the next 7 generations. which brings me great sorrow. Because most of us today don't even care about tomorrow. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we put profit above people, greed above need, the rule of gold above the golden rule. I'm sorry we use nature as a credit card with no spending limit, overdrafting animals to extinction, stealing your chance to ever see their uniqueness or become friends with them. Sorry we poison the ocean so much that you can't even swim in them. But most of all, I'm sorry about our mindset, 'cause we had the nerve to call this destruction progress. Hey Fox News, if you don't think climate change is a threat, I dare you to interview the thousands of homeless people in Bangladesh. See, while you were in your penthouse nestled, their homes were literally washed away beneath their feet due to rising sea levels. And Sarah Palin, you said that you love the smell of fossil fuels. Well, I urge you to talk to the kids of Beijing who are forced to wear pollution masks just to go to school. See, you can ignore this, but the thing about truth is, it can be denied, not avoided. So I'm sorry, future generations. I'm sorry that our footprint became a sinkhole and not a garden. I'm sorry that we paid so much attention to ISIS and very little to how fast the ice is melting in the Arctic. I'm sorry we doomed you, and I'm sorry we couldn't find another planet in time to move to. You know what? Cut the beat. I'm not sorry. This future, I do not accept it, because an error does not become a mistake until you refuse to correct it. We can redirect this. How? Let me suggest that if a farmer sees a tree that is unhealthy, they don't look at the branches to diagnose it, they look at the root. So like that farmer, we must look at the root, and not to the branches of government, not to the politicians run by corporations. We are the root, we are the foundation. This generation, it is up to us to take care of this planet. It is our only home. We must globally warm our hearts and change the climate of our souls and realize that we are not apart from nature, we are a part of nature. And to betray nature is to betray us. To save nature is to save us. Because whatever you're fighting for, racism or poverty, feminism, gay rights, or any type of equality, it won't matter in the least. Because if we don't all work together to save the environment, we will be equally extinct. Sorry. Hey guys. For the past several weeks, I've been here in Africa, the heart of Africa, witnessing the horrific destruction of the rainforest, which inspired me to write this piece. Why are forests being destroyed at such an enormous rate? For this. Today we live in a world where destroying trees makes you money. So what can we, normal people, do about it? One way to directly fight the destruction is to stand for trees. By standing for trees, not only can you save the lives of trees, help forest communities, and protect the rights of animals to live in their homes, but you will also balance the amount of pollution that you yourself give off with your everyday activities, making you a part of the solution and not the problem. This is the option that I chose. But whatever way that you choose to stand for trees, do it. Because a wise man once said, when the rivers are all dried up and the trees cut down, man will then realize that he will not be able to eat money.